Let's shift you a little bit on some of the newer stuff that you're doing.
Okay.
On this retreat that you just did for can I say it?
Yes.
Okay, Design Council,
Yeah,
Singapore.
Design Council.
Yeah, on
Oh my God.
called How to Human,
Dream
right?
client. They are dream clients.
So maybe let's tell me a little bit about the thinking behind the shape and the structure of this course, and what are some of the biggest pain point you designed this course to tackle?
Okay.
Also, the retreat. Sorry.
Right. So this retreat was something that I was not prepared to do. And in my mind, the vision I had was to first focus on my personal coaching. And then I was going to maybe in 2 to 3 years' time graduate to doing corporate retreats. Except that this opportunity came last year. It came knocking around September last year. And that was when I just started my dannybunny.co thing. But I have had, in a couple of years before that, been giving talks. And I gave a talk at the National Design Center for a group of designers, and my topic was about designing your life. That talk was so well received, and then somebody from the Design Singapore Council, one person was actually there. So fast forward many months later, when they decided to bring in a corporate trainer, my name started floating around in the office, right? So they called me, and they were very interested to work with me. So of course, they asked me if I did this or not. Then I was like, no, I don't, but I'm very excited about this opportunity. I think I can. So I need to understand what your pinpoints are. So of course, I went in and I saw the directors, I met the team, I saw all the intel. And then they'll ask me questions like, are you certified as a trainer? Do you have a PhD in psychology or organizational behavior communication? I'm like, no, and no. Do you have a signature program? No. Have you trained any other corporate settings in corporate setting? No. Then they said, so why should we hire you? I said, I don't know, you all reached out to me. I didn't ask for the job. I didn't pitch for the job. But I said, but look, if you want me to sell myself to you, I can honestly tell you that I can deliver a kick-ass retreat experience that's tailored to your pain points because I know how to solve it. So moving on, my program that I came up with after listening to them and looking at all the feedback the program was called How to Human. I came up with the name How to Human. And I realized that really is the solution to a lot of the problems in a corporate setting. Because because of the corporate suits and the corporate armor that we put on, because it's a shark eat shark kind of world, for fear of being abused or taken advantage of or being hurt, people suit up, right? And then you have all this ego that is cock blocking everything, conversations, right? So if you look at communication, you look at corporate culture, and you look at trust, is a big word, it all boils down to the fact that somehow we've forgotten how to connect as human beings. And I feel that if we all strip away, the only KPI I had for myself for the retreat program was that by noon, I wanted everybody to be stripped off the corporate armor and leave it at the door. At the end of the day, I wanted everybody to have a good day. Those were my 2 KPIs.
Wow.
Very simple, right? And then I achieved that. And I realized that if we are able to connect human to human as human beings and really put aside all the ego, okay, all the pride, personal agendas, you realize that we all want the same things. And it boils down to just a few of the same things, right? We want safety, security, we want to be appreciated, we want to be loved, but we also want to love. We want to be helped, but we also want to help because there's so much joy and happiness in just helping someone, in just making a difference in someone's life. That kind of feeling you get is pure joy. And I'm like, yeah, so if you can strip away all this and learn how to human, then the other problems will solve itself. I was like, if I have 8 hours with these people, what is the one thing that I can do that's going to make everything else easier? So that was the basis of my program. And it was very well received. And I have, at the end of the day, people come up to me, hug me, and cry and say, Dan, I don't know how you make vulnerability so attractive. It makes me feel like I want to go out and bare my heart to the world. And I say, but that's because you feel safe with me. And if you guys, the 50 of you can feel safe with one another in that way, you can do anything and you can achieve anything and you can solve any problem. Because your ego is not called blocking. you know, and it was a beautiful experience. I poured in my heart and soul and everything. Again, the way I built the website, I built the course this way. After that, I was totally exhausted, drained, and I left Singapore. I went to Canggu, Bali for 1 month, for a whole month, November. At first, I wanted to go there and do my thinking retreat and to decompress and to do some creative work. I was so spent and exhausted, I didn't do anything. I needed the 1 whole month to recuperate.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, what's exciting is that as a result of that, now later this month, April, I'm doing a corporate retreat, also How to Human with People's Association.
Wow.
So another, probably a dream client who believes in investing in people and humanizing and bring humanity into the workplace. And I think that's a crucial piece of the puzzle that's missing in a lot of corporate settings.
Yeah. What are some of the more effective activities that you do that most courses or most retreats don't?
I don't know, you know.
Obviously, you don't have an experience.
Because you know why? I told you right. My style is I don't care what other people are doing.
Right.
I don't do a lot of what they call business pornography, where you go and look at what other people are doing and then you try and like blue ocean, red ocean. I mean, although I teach people to do the blue ocean strategy, but the thing is, I feel like for me, if I'm well equipped to answer a question, I devise the mechanism or the way the worksheets and the workflow are designed in such a way that I know it was going to help. So there's a lot of thought and design into, you know, very funny, all these civil service companies, right? They are very used to making everything very structured, very locked down. So when they ask me for the program rundown, they asked me, you know, they needed to know, the control freaks, right? They needed to know what I was delivering. I said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. Then they said, cannot, you must give. Then I said, my program is going to be full of awakening moments where I literally go and slap your face, right? I said, I will give you a slap to the left or right, or maybe at your forehead, or maybe punch you in the nose. But if I'm going to tell you, okay, afternoon 9 to 10 o'clock, I'm going to slap you on your left, then 10 to 11, I'm going to punch you on your nose, then you're going to what? You're going to spend the hour anticipating when the punch is going to come. And then when I deliver it, you might dodge it, or you might not be effective. Right. So I say, when I deliver a punch or aha moment, it has to be impactful. And part of the design of my program is that you don't know what's coming. Then I say, okay we can don't know but then my bosses need to know Then I say, yeah, but the bosses are the ones that need the most slapping and punching. So nobody's going to know what I'm going to deliver. Then they said, then how do we know if you're going to be good or not? I say, you'll find out lor. I said, okay. So yesterday also I had a conversation with People's Association. Yesterday, literally. How do we know if it's going to be good or not? I said, you just have to have a leap of faith. And then I said that if it's going to be bad, I won't take a single cent from you. And then you learn not to hire me ever again. And you can tell the whole world that I'm not good.
And really, I love this strategy because it firstly puts you on the line to deliver good work.
Yes.
And then it takes the stress off of you because you're able to just refund, right? And that comes with knowing what is enough.
Yes.
Thinking of it.
Yeah, so I told them, I said, look, I don't need this job again. I didn't pitch for it. You guys came to me. And after you came to me because you're government, right? You have to go and talk to other vendors, right? In the end, you still chose me. Why? I don't have certificate. I'm not a PhD in anything, right? But my methodology works. I've got a heart in it. I can even do this if you don't pay me. It's fine. I'm ready to do that.
Actually, I'm so maybe let me ask a more specific question in terms of warm-up activities that you do that allow them to loosen up.
Okay, so the first thing I do for every retreat, every talk I do is I ask everybody to breathe with me.
So it's like a mindfulness practice.
Yes, it's breathe. Firstly, because usually before everything, I'm very nervous. So I need to like myself also. But I always feel that I want everybody to be in sync. It's a synchronized. Let's sync our time. Right? Let's sync our breaths. Let us start everything, the whole experience today. And I always end with 3 breaths together as well. And every sprint that I do, like sprint 1, 2, 3, or after a coffee break or after lunch, I come back, let's do the breathing exercise.
Wow.
Is to bring everybody back. Is the thinking. So I do little things like this. Like it's not anything that is solely high, but it's small little things that I feel makes a big difference.
100%.
100%, right?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we should have done like breathing just now before the start.
Exactly. and also maybe another question to ask is, what did you learn from your first retreat? And how would you design the second retreat a little bit differently based on these learnings?
Okay. So what I learned from the first retreat was that I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. I was very, very proud of myself for stepping up to the opportunity. I could have just chickened out and said, no, I don't want. Because it was very scary. It was like, I've never done this before. And there's a whole lot of work. I had to start from scratch. I had no material, you know. Yeah. And I had to go in and customize something. I'm not teaching like a Six Sigma. I mean, no offense to that, but I'm not teaching something that's already kind of everything is perfected. And I coach, I learn, I get certification, I can teach. Yeah. I was like trying to really creatively solve a problem from scratch. And I had to immerse myself in the company. I had to bring a lot of empathy. Really enjoyed the process, even though it took everything out of me. Felt really good about myself. Told myself that I would do it again if somebody would hire me. Was very grateful that I had this opportunity way earlier than I had planned. Design Singapore Council, they are a dream client to me. Very, very amazing people. I have so much love for these people, especially after having worked with them intensively for that day. I get invited to events and I go and I have so much affection for them. They have recently announced a change in director. So yeah, Agnes is leaving. I'm very sad. But I like that there's renewed energy and stuff, and you know, personally I want her to thrive as well. So I learned that. I learned all that about the work that I'm doing. This is what I want. So I got validation and I was paid good money for it. I'm like, oh my God, getting paid for what I want. Like, and then what else did I learn? Okay, so your other question is how would I do it differently? I would not do the whole thing by myself for 8 hours.
So it's just a 1 day, 8 hours course, is that what it is? One
person, I did everything myself. The one with People's Association, because of budgeting constraint, they have decided that they can only hire me for half a day. So I was like, oh, hey, that's not my problem also. I cannot do 8 hours because initially I was going to think of how can I cut out certain pieces to bring in other experts in. So I become a facilitator, I teach certain components, but then I can mix in certain bits. And of course, these bits that I bring in have to be meaningful and tied to the organization's problems as well. But one thing I learned is that doing this whole retreat by yourself, because I'm high energy, if you know I'm a very high energy person, right? I like 8 hours like manic. And then they go like, Dana, I don't know how you keep your energy so high. Like what are you on? I said, wow, you should have seen me when I was in my 20s. I'm already very mellow. Yeah, but yeah, to answer your question, yes, I will take care of my energy more. Otherwise, I need another month in Canggu.